do is kind of just get right to the juice on a few issues that I think are probably important to everybody. But first of all, I have a couple questions. And then I want to also introduce Rob. So first, though, I want to ask the question, is anybody still interested in raising money? I just wanted to make sure, because Max, you are awesome, and really valuable advice for people. In fact, one of the things Rob and I will talk about a little bit later is how important it is when you do get to the professional angel community or any sophisticated individual investor that you really understand what your marketing plan, strategy, and tactics are. Most of the business plans that I see and have seen for a decade are really lacking in that area. How many of you right now are in a business situation where you're raising money or trying to, or at least thinking about soon raising money? Okay, that's a lot of people, a lot of hands. Okay. When you go to raise money, most of the time you hear what? No, right? You hear no. Most of the time you get a no. What do you want to hear? Yes, right? One more time. Yes! Okay. Why do you hear no? Any ideas? Okay, so that's one reason, right? People give you reasons. The reason is that you are scary to them, right? Because what's the paradigm that we all live in around money? There's not enough, and we need more. So when you're going to somebody who's got money, and you want some of that money, you're a risk for them. And the whole process of raising money, whether it's from your uncle, or your best friend, or the professional angel community, or a venture capital fund, is to somehow get them from a place of fear and mistrust to a place of interest and trust. Because that's what's going to make you seem like a better risk in their eyes, and that's how you're going to get the money. So one of the things that we do is we work with companies at the very early stages to try to help them understand the process by which you get from that place. And if you most of you, at least I hope, have the handouts that we had passed out at the beginning. And one of those handouts that I just want to briefly touch on, it shows a human brain. So the process that we are talking about, let me see, I'll hold it up for those who, and if somebody next to you doesn't have one and you can share with them, that would be great. So what we're talking about is a process by which you go from the left brain of an individual to the right brain, and from there to the heart. The problem that most people have when they go to raise money is that they go right to where? The heart. Especially many of you who are engaged in paradigm changing, in world changing, in bringing forth something new. Especially those of you who have amazing visions for doing something new, doing something different, creating worlds that don't exist. You are all part of a movement, a very serious movement that's rolling across this planet. The problem is money is still primarily at the older stages, okay? It's still at a stage of traditional thinking, traditional paradigms. You're pushing that aside, but the money is still over here. So you have to learn how to talk into the money. That's what this diagram will kind of help you look at. And when we do our full day seminars, we'll spend hours on this. How you create your pitch, your business plan, the structure and form of your company, all of these things are the concerns on the left brain of an investor, okay? It's all about risk. It's all about what could be lost. It's all about what might go wrong. It's all about, can I trust you? All of those kinds of things. It's analytical, and it's fear-based. So what we want to do is move from the left brain to the right brain. And the way that you do that is by having your form and structure down cold. And form and structure has everything to do with the way you set up your company, to the way that you write it up in a business plan, a marketing plan, as Max talked about, and probably even most importantly, your business model and your financial plan. Those are the form and structure issues that if you don't have those things handled, you never get over here to the right brain, which is all about possibility and opportunity and what could we cause together and what could we accomplish together and how could we change the world together and how could my money influence and change, negative things on the planet that have been in place for years. That's what you get on the right brain, and that's what connects with your heart and their heart. And when that resonance is present, more than likely you're going to get the funding you need from that individual or that group. And I want to share one aspect of that kind of makes the point. Rob and I attended a conference a couple of days ago that Tech Coast Angels sponsored along with the Sonsini law firm. I never can remember all the partners' names. Thank you. Big law firm, one of the biggest investment law firms in the world. And the whole conference was highly technical, highly analytical. It was attended by brilliant people, many of whom are developing high technology, and some of the wealthier investors in San Diego. And it was all about the funding process from the analytical perspective, right? But then at the end, one of the people from Tech Coast Angels stood up and he said, in the final analysis, if 2 or 3 people in the room like you, you'll get funded. To get to that point, though, you have to go through a pre-screen, a submission, and a full screening, and those are all based on this left brain analytical stuff. So, Rob, I just wonder if you have any comment about what we heard yesterday and the not so much the process, we'll talk about that, but just this idea that from somebody who sits in the room with people and hears these presentations, at the end of the day, 1 or 2 people have to say, I like this, or I like that person, correct? And when that happens, what happens?
You get a check.
You don't have to say anymore. That was it. See, I give him all the punchlines. Yeah, you get a check. Now, the thing is it may have taken 3 months to get to that point, and it really may have taken 6 months before that. But that's the end result when you get from the left to the right to the heart, and you get that resonance. And especially those of you who, as we said, are bringing forth a higher level of consciousness, a new paradigm for this planet. We just have to get real about the fact that money itself is still vibrating, if you will, at a lower consciousness. It's still about there's not enough and I need more. So if you're coming to ask for mine, you better answer the questions up here.